We bargain 700 collective agreements a year. This is what we do, and we're good at it. Strike action, social media, newspapers, TV ads, we do whatever it takes.
Rally today at 3. Let Bell know we're here.
Bell is pretty good at creating a toxic environment.
Essentially at Bell Canada, there's a system called stacked ranking, and it ranks people against each other, pits them against each other, and then the bottom 15% are declared to be underperforming.
When I started at Bell, Bell was the leader of industry on how to treat people, how to manage, how to get things done. And now we're, even though they toot their own horn, we're the back end.
We put an individual grievance in, and we did actually a stack ranking policy grievance, which is actually going on now.
We've negotiated an end of it in the Bell sales group, and we're in the process of eliminating it in the rest of our business units across the country. And while it's Bell Canada, we don't trust them in terms of what their next program is going to be. At least this one here is, we're seeing the end of it.
It's a very big win for our local. We removed stack ranking, and the members are quite happy about that.
Here today to ratify our national pattern. So we bargained at the national level, reached an agreement with the company, and then came here to ratify that, to vote on it, to approve it, which was done. The wages, the term, the recognition of victims of domestic violence, and then the severance multiplier was increased. And that's what we went to the table with. That was our proposal on that, and it's significant. The process was good. I mean, it was tense. We had 5 days in Montreal. Local, national, all done at the end of it, so it was good. But going into it, it's intense, and it's intense for 5 days, and then when you're done, you're done. Unifor as a whole, it was their idea, led by Scott Doherty, and that's who instigated this and put it all together. When we ratify at the numbers we ratified at, we know that the process was agreed upon by the majority of the members.
Not only are we up against Loblaw, we're up against the government as well, because they're trying to take away our rights. We weren't going to give up our 10 ESA days. We weren't going to turn our backs on part-time workers that wanted equal pay for equal work. We geared up with a campaign called People Over Profit. And the engagement it snowballed into this great atmosphere we created, where 50, 60 people on one shift holding the banners and the flags and cheering and wearing their toques and their jerseys. We were a strong group. We weren't going to be broken. We dug our heels in. So it went down to about an hour before the deadline, 7 weeks of bargaining. We finally reached a tentative agreement. 3 more great things that we achieved through the bargaining process was the elimination of mandated work. We also negotiated a inclusion and diversity committee and a human rights rep. All 3 of those are going to play a crucial role in combating issues in the workplace. And to know that you have, the best union in Canada supporting you, standing behind you, there's truly no better feeling.
We went to the table with CN this year, a multi-billion-dollar corporation who's raking money in hand over fist. And we basically told them on day one that we wanted our members to benefit from some of that. We did set a pattern. We got good increases for benefits, health benefits, some that we've never seen, the possibility of marrying benefits for spouses, which was huge. We also got a women's advocate for sisters in the rail, hugely important. The recipe for success for Unifor is people like myself who come up from the ranks and we fight. We know the industry, we know the culture, and we also know what we're entitled to, and we bear down till we get it. And we have great leadership to help us.
We have 7 crowns from Unifor joining together all at the same time. Stars are aligning, contracts are expiring. The government needs to take note. We're coming after them. We want some fairness.
There seems to be a great reluctance on the part of the employer, the government, to really come to us with anything.
We have 3 main goals that their membership brought forward to us through the proposals, and one was fair wages, mental health, and contracting out.
The rally in January, Jerry come out to speak. He's a great speaker if you haven't heard him.
We define ourselves because we don't walk away from any sort of a conflict. We don't want it, we don't look for it, but we're sure as heck not going to run. So I think our reputation bodes us well. So this is about us standing together, standing strong, and being quite straightforward to the government that we are here to find a solution. But don't test us. Don't test us. Because if you think we're bluffing, try me on. Try us on. Because we're going to get it done, and we're going to get it done right.
It was the worst round of bargaining as far as demands being placed on the membership by the employer that I've ever experienced. The demands seemed really insurmountable, and the main issue at the table was that they were demanding a slow closure of our defined benefit pension plan. That plan had been in existence for over 45 years.
The membership as a whole, when we had a strike vote, they had 100% support for that. And I'd never seen solidarity like that before amongst a committee and membership.
They weren't afraid to take on this employer to fight for fairness, respect, and a decent retirement provisions.
D-Day of strike, there was a full-page ad in the local newspaper. We had radio ads. So all communities that East Coast Credit Union was part of were able to see what this employer, who was acting like a big bank, by the way, what they were actually doing to these members.
Without Unifor support, none of this would have been possible. When they say there's strength in numbers, there truly is strength in numbers.